Faust is up with some magic 101. So the doc around with his new magic when zap, a demon named Mephistopheles pop up and all like, yo, Foster's like, say, bro, think when you go back to hell you can do me a solid and ask Satan if we can do some business. Maybe trade my soul for some banging superpowers. Know what I'm saying? Mephistopheles like, for sure. So Mephistopheles talks to the big man downstairs and a deal is struck. Faust is gonna have 24 years of living a baller's dream. But at the end, he's gonna have to hand over his soul. Since the devil got plenty of lawyers in hell with him, he make Faustus sign a contract with his own blood. But when the doc try to sign that paper, his blood start congealing, like it's telling him, hold up, son, what the hell you think you're doing? Eventually, though, he gets them juices flowing and sells his soul for the world. Every now and then, Faustus be wondering if he can
Yeah. How about that? Hey, Patriots. I'm just saying, this is such a coincidence. Dr. Faustus, Dr. Fauci. That's quite the coincidence, right? Yeah. And the similarities are, they've been running the CDC and doing their little magic on us with the vaccines. And that's what's been going on. I'm glad to see you guys. I'm Melissa, Red Pill the World. I'm glad I've got so many new folks here. I'm so glad that you guys are joining with us because we talk about that this is biblical and we connect those dots. And I haven't seen that many people in the Q movement actually saying how this is connecting the dots. And actually, I wrote a book called Q-Anon and 1,000 Years of Peace, which is what we're about to break into. Clearly, on the video, The Plan to Save the World, they talk about that we're going to have days that none of us have ever experienced before. And we're at the threshold of that. So I had a story to tell you that happened today. So I had a little issue today that cost me more money than I expected it to. And I was like aggravated, right? Like a lot more than I was expecting it to. And so I was just, aggravated. So then get a load of this. About 7 years ago, my husband was going to buy a car and he actually went on, I think it was eBay or something. Anyway, so he ended up paying somebody. It turns out he paid him for a picture of a car instead of getting a car. So he went outside of, I think it was eBay. He went outside of that and he sent them some Western Union money. And so blew $3,500. This is like 7 years ago. Guess what happened? Okay, so we reported it and we filled out some paperwork. This has been 7 years. Today, my husband got a check. Today. So why am I telling you this story? First of all, I wish I'd gotten that check before I was aggravated that I'd been screwed over for extra, $500. But the Lord knew that this was in the mailbox. And he had that right there waiting. And so sometimes if you can just sit tight and go, hey, the Lord's going to make a way and he's going to bless me. And I'm just have to be patient and sit tight. And that's kind of where we are right now. I wish I could tell all the American people, everybody in America, listen up. I know right now you're struggling, a lot of you, because you don't know if you have a business or if you lost your job or whatever. If you just hang on tight, Resurrection Day is coming. I don't know exactly when it's going to be, but there's going to be, I would think. And today I'm going to show you some things are going on in the heavens. The Lord said he put the sun, moon, and stars in the heavens for signs. And that's what we need today. We need to know what is the Lord doing. And so remember how the president said this is going to happen sooner than expected? He said that a couple of times. And he wanted the America open for business, as of for Easter. But then he also said it was going to be sooner than he had expected, than many expected. So I've got to show y'all something, that the timeline in the heavens is not Easter. It's sooner than that. I mean, and I'm going to show you guys, and then you guys can decide for yourself. And I'm going to teach you how to do this, or at least I'm going to give you some homework. So this time that we have, that maybe you know, are having to stay home, work from home or whatever, you know, let's ask the Lord, how can I use that time and you know, and make it into something, you know, be thankful in all circumstances. Even I'm saying that when understanding that I was aggravated today about, you know, that this didn't, you know, whatever, this did not work out. And then lo and behold, it was okay. It all, the Lord came, it's easy for him. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. It's easy for him to make up for how we get messed over. Okay. I just thought you guys would enjoy that. I thought you would enjoy that. So, okay, so this whole thing, this is Thug Notes. It's a gangsta. I think he's terrific. I think he's so great at telling stories. I sure wish I had this way of telling stories. He's great. He's great. So, yeah, so check him out and, you know, subscribe to his channel. And boy, that was really great. And I think that they've been running. I've never given my kids vaccines. I didn't trust them years and years and years ago. And so I'm glad I didn't. And, you know, most people just have trusted, as Q has talked about many times, the ones who've been messing us over, the ones we've trusted the most. And who are we told to trust the most? Well, one of those is doctors, right? And so, yeah, look at that. They have, yeah. And they do this little magic potion, and it's in a shot or in a pill, and you think it's something good for you. We need to be more suspicious, right? All right, so yeah, I'm gonna jump in, and yeah, that guy Fauci, I don't trust him. But what I'm saying is President Trump is in control, and he is exposing all of this. And so we in the Q movement, we know that they sent money. The CDC sent money to Ukraine, and all their cronies got the money instead of the AIDS people, HIV/AIDS, instead of them getting it. So this is he's shining a spotlight on it. And this is what's so important is, you know, when he shines a spotlight on Google or whatever, they start to lose their superpowers, right? And he's like the Wizard of Oz, the witch. He's sprinkling holy water, the truth on them, and they start melting, right? So this is a good thing. Okay, so trust the plan. Know that Patriots in control, and so this has been planned for long ago. So I'm going to talk a little bit about COVID here in a minute. All right. So, but before I do, okay, we talked about the other day that the seal is off of the podium. And we know that what's happening, a lot of what's happening right now is there's got to be we feel very confident there's a financial reset going on right now. And that we're going to come out of this, as he said, much better than we were before. I actually went on some errands today, and I talked to some people, and lots of people are more apt to are catching on more. And this one lady talked about, she says, yeah, he said that. He said things are going to be she even said it to me, things are going to be much better than they were before. So I think, yeah, there's something brewing. All right. So, but this is the sky. Isn't that weird? I did not see chemtrails today or yesterday, and I have hoped before, and my hopes have been dashed, but they didn't spray for 2 days. Here they spray constantly, and especially right now they would spray. You would think that they'd be spraying like wild, right? I hope that you guys are experiencing the same thing. I don't know. We're gonna see, but you know, I know way back in the day, I thought it was maybe someone in our military, whatever. And I've realized it's the guy, it's the cabal that has been doing it, and likely with drones. So now maybe, okay, this is my theory. I hope I'm right, but let's just say maybe we're now no longer a corporation. They don't run our country anymore like a corporation. So they don't have the right, they don't have the power to spray us anymore. Wouldn't that be great? That seal being gone is a great sign, at least, from what I can tell. We'll see. We will see. And that is a big part of helping people to wake up, because that spraying is intended to keep us in sleepy land. And then, remember in the the story of the Beauty and not the Beauty and the Beast. The Prince Charming kisses the beautiful Sleeping Beauty, and all of a sudden she wakes up, and then if you look, not only does everyone wake up, but also this whole town turns from this gray, gross, muggy to this beautiful blue skies. Just hope so. So last night I was outside and I could see the stars so well because it was clear. Now we still have, if you try to look at the southern sky, the lower, closer to the horizon, it's harder to see, but eventually it'll get to be super clear. So I'm going to show you how to do some of that. Anyway, I just thought you would enjoy that. I'm hoping I'm right. I've been hoping that for a long, long time. Anyway. So yeah, so I think, back to the thing on the justice. I think that how cool would it be if every day we got a check? Oh, you were screwed over by this, and you maybe didn't even know it. You didn't even realize it, and we're giving you a check for how you were messed over. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, and they overcharged you for this interest. Here's your check for that. And here they whatever it is that you were messed over, and you start getting money. Talk about Jubilee. Wouldn't that be great? Anyway, so that was surprising to me because we'd written this off. We were just like, we're never going to see that again. And then my husband just is like, he opens the mail. He's like, what is this? Yeah. So that's just a little example, a little sample of what's coming. All right, I posted this on the community page. Make sure that you are, have liked, share, and subscribe, and all that. And your little bell is rung so that you'll get messages in your feed about what I'm putting on the community page. And so this was given to me by my buddy Dana, and I've listened to it a couple of times, and I think that likely what he's talking about is very true. So I'm not going to play it, but I want you can go on to my community page, and I also put it on the Twitter, Freedom Forcer, and you can watch it and see what you think. But basically he's saying that the celebrities do not have coronavirus. They have adrenochrome withdrawals. That's what's happening. And I'm going to talk about adrenochrome here in a little bit. Before I talk about some of these things, I'm going to give you a warning before I start talking about some of these things that happen. So, but basically they take this, and normally with a drug addict, they look bad, right? But the thing with this adrenochrome is it gives them this amazing high. Plus, they don't start looking like death warmed over. They actually look younger, and they're more vital, and they feel stronger. Yeah, that's the difference between adrenochrome and like cocaine or something like that. Yeah, so that is very interesting. I was going to tell you something else. Somebody was saying that some software, maybe some for the phones, says Adreno, and then of course we use Chromebooks. So they put all this information out there just to, put it out there in plain sight, right? Okay, but this was their plan, and this is what this guy is saying on this video, and I think this is true. I think this is the deal. Okay, so what happened in China was that they definitely treat these people as they don't care. Their lives are totally expendable. They do not care what happens to these people. They had in Wuhan, they cranked up the 5G so that people felt like they had the flu. It made them feel like they were starting to get the flu, and so they went to the doctor, and the doctor gave them coronavirus. Whether you want to call it a vaccine or whatever, it's a live virus that they put into these people. And Q has said that so many phones, he posted that on the Q map, that these phones are gone. Well, the thing about the phones is, in order to do anything in China, you have to have a phone. You are on orders from the government to have a phone so they can track you. You can't do anything. You can't buy food. You can't do anything unless you have a phone. So now with all these phones, what did you say? Like, however many? Let me just look real quick and see how many he said were gone. Yeah, 21 million, y'all. 21 million cell phones accounts are gone. So that is just, even though they won't tell us what the numbers are, we can figure it out from the number of cell phones that have been closed. Those accounts have been closed. And remember how Bush always said the 1,000 points of light? China's 1,000 talents plan. That's where they have taken all of these people in our country, these scientists. And I was reading all this chemistry jargon, and I listened to it a couple times. It was quite complex, and boy, I need to get a refresher course in chemistry. They've tried to make it like a little magic trick, and they use, because they know most of people don't know, and they make it very hard to follow. So these scientists have been used to help them to do their Dr. Faustus magic. Yeah, it is. Telling you, just like Dr. Faustus is straight from the pits of hell. It really is. So I wanted to mention that. And this ship right here, let me finish the story about what this man's saying. So he is saying that they got this, many of them died, and so we don't have the vaccine. Thankfully the president is, we've got to do a lot of, we've got to go through all these hoops to get a vaccine. He's acting like they really want it. Okay, so don't worry when he talks about that he wants the vaccine. He is not going to let us have a vaccine, and this is going to be all over before they would be able to get any vaccine approved. And they might say, "Oh, we're in an emergency situation. We need to do this. We've got to have this done." Well, it's not going to happen. He's not going to let, and they can bellyache and scream and whatever, but they're not at this point pushing for that. But that was their goal, is for us to force to get everyone tested. That's what he goes into. That he was saying, we've got to test everyone. Trump is not. He's dropping the ball, and we need to make sure everyone gets tested. And if the test all comes back positive, then we've got to give everyone this. We're going to force them to get the vaccine, because if they don't have the vaccine, then they're going to continue. That's what they say is, this is going to continue to cause people all this sickness, and they're going to reinfect the population. So you have to take the vaccine. I mean, look, we're in a communist dictatorship. So they've tried that and it didn't work. Okay, so yes, this whole thing is still playing out over the news, but he says this is going to be done for Easter. Today's the 26th. By the time you're saying this is the 27th, and that's just a couple of weeks away. So he's got it all planned out. Do not worry. I think this is a great one for you to watch, and just see what your thoughts are on it. That was their plan, to get everyone tested, and we're not going to do that. You're tested if you feel like you've got an issue, right? And you go over there and you get tested. But and actually, Joe M was saying, he put a post out. He says, "Does anybody know anybody, or know anybody who knows anybody who's actually sick?" And I don't know of anyone. So I'm going to talk to you about that too. But anyway, so this is biowarfare. Biowarfare, we always have thought about it in the sense of that you would what they had said on the news, which I don't believe it was true, that Syria had bombed their own people with some biochemical. That was just, I really do believe that was fake news, because he had no incentive to do that. And the whole anger of the world came down on him because the news said that he had done that. So normally we think of it in that way, that you would, but this way is where they're trying to cause a panic, right? And so, this is where we come in handy with our friends and family, and just help to try to keep everyone calm. And, just hang on tight. If your family members do not understand what's going on, just talk to your, the buddies here on the battalion about things. Talk to people who believe. Maybe put out tweets, and don't try to push it with your family members. Don't worry, because it's very soon they're going to know. It's all, that's what the president said. That's what he said. Now, this ship right here, we've got the Mercy and the Comfort, right? And someone said, "Oh, well, they said on True Reporting that those are going to be for homeless." There's no way. There's no way they're going to take people onto a ship. This is for the Gitmo bound people. I feel 99.9% positive that this has got to be for Gitmo bound people. And it was funny because George just posted, just when I was just about to come on, he posted this. Where the president had said, I can now announce something that I think is incredible, what they've done in the Navy because of the incredible naval hospital ship, the USNS Comfort, which is incredible. Actually, when you see it inside, will be underway to New York City on Saturday. So it's going to be leaving on Saturday rather than 3 weeks from now. They did the maintenance quickly, and it was going to be there for quite a while longer, another 3 or 4 weeks, and it should be arriving in, I told the governor 20 minutes ago. Governor Cuomo, the ship will be arriving in New York Harbor on Monday. I think I'm going to go out and I'll kiss it goodbye. I'll go to, it's in Virginia, as you know, and I'll go and we'll be waving together because I suspect the media will be following. He is so funny. He is so funny. Yeah, I'm going to kiss it goodbye. So he's really playing this like a movie, because he knows this ship has been ready to go. And yes, I saw videos on George where there's, have it set up for, for a hospital, but in a really small room, whatever. But what they didn't show, and because he said at one point, he says, oh, who said this? Oh, here we go. When you see it, actually, when you see it inside, I would love to see it inside because I bet it's filled with cages that they're going to put these creeps in. That's what it's filled with, but they're not showing that part, right? Because he can't. And I've been in this Q army since the beginning. Literally, the Lord had revealed to me the first Q post way back when it first started posting. And I've seen trolls, I've seen disinformation, I've seen it all over this time. And so just, if you're new to the Q movement, if you're new to trolls, if you're new to disinformation, just trust the plan and kind of keep your little antenna up and go, okay, maybe, there's something else going on besides what they're actually saying, right? And disinformation is necessary. Q has told us that. So just trust the plan. That's all I know to tell you. All right. So now I'm going to tell you something that is fun to do while we're going through this, because, and I think it'll be something fun for you. You got to do something fun this every now and again. And, all right. So, like today I actually went and I planted a little tomato plant. It was, $4. I got me some, and I'm hoping I'm going to have some little cherry tomatoes. And, so something that just something different and get away from a lot of the media and a lot of that, because I'm the same way. I know that you guys are, that we can get really bogged down with watching this and digging in, and we need to, but we've got to also take a step back. All right. So, so this is your homework. Okay. Take a picture of this. And this is what I want you to do. I'm going to, because I want you to learn how to do some of these things, because, to think through what is happening in the heavens, what is happening that the Lord put these stars in the heavens for us. So let's learn, okay? So, because when I first woke up, this was one of the things I researched, and it came in handy, because then you have a pocket, just like that chemistry. I wish I had more chemistry understanding, so that when he's reading that, I have a pocket to put that information. I just need more pockets for this information. So when I was studying the stars, then it came in handy when I started to put together Revelation. It all started to make sense, really. Someone asked me the other day, well, then with a comment on the channel, they said, well, why do you think God chose you to do this, to write this book and to explain this? Because I said, well, there are maybe some other people who know this, but we're so drowned out because of the Masonic controlled church. But as far as me, I never went to seminary. I was never in the club. Okay, you can't have someone who's in the club do this. You've got to have regular people to do this. But I've had I've created 900 scripture songs. You know, I've done tons of scripture, and a lot of people study scripture, but I don't know. I just have a ton of scripture memory. I don't know. I just think he's using regular people in this day to do things to get this job done, right? And he's using like Sarah, is it Sarah Carter? You know, he's using her to do, she's not a big name, but she's, and John Solomon, to expose a lot of this stuff. He's using regular people to start amazing YouTube channels and Twitter pages. And, why did he choose any of us to do any of the things that you are doing? And maybe if no one, very few people, you guys are here, but maybe not that many people know about you or what I'm doing or whatever, but it's all part of this giant weave, this giant puzzle that we're doing together. Anyway, so I'm going to take you over there to Stellarium, and I'm going to show you some really cool stuff but first, when you look at the stars, I want you to start looking at the stars. Hopefully we'll have some clear nights. And so I want you to look in the northern sky. Figure out what's north from your house, and it's going to be, in the evening, 8 o'clock, whatever. Go out, and I want you to, after it's completely dark, get as dark as you can, watch the movement in the north sky. And then after an hour, go and see it again. Okay, so because you can't necessarily always sit out there for an hour or whatever. Okay, so you go out there and you say, look at the Big Dipper, which is actually the major sheepfold. There's 2 sheepfolds, but that's another story. If you haven't seen my video on the biblical astronomy, the giant storybook in the sky, on the signs in the heaven, stars, in a playlist, go on there and see that. But anyway, so look at the Big Dipper up in the north sky, and then an hour later, go and see what happened. Where is it now? I'm not going to tell you, okay? But you guys go and do that, and see if you can learn and watch and think what is going on. I'm pretending to be cute. I'm pretending to be cute. I'm not cute. I'm not confessing to be cute. But okay, but I'm asking you, because I'm not going to tell you. You have to really do this yourself and look at it and say, what happened after an hour? What did it move this way? Did it move? What is it doing? Okay. All right. I'm not going to tell you anymore. Also, download Stellarium. Go to stellarium.org, download it onto your laptop, and start looking at it. And I've got other videos where I show you in the stars playlist that how to do it. And we become familiar with how to use that program. Make sure you're on the azimuthal mount, and so when that you become familiar with the constellations, and then go outside. And this is what I did. I said, okay, I'm going to try to figure out one constellation. And so I looked and looked and looked. I finally figured out which ones were in the sky at that time of the year. So right now it's pretty easy because Orion is very highly identifiable, and you can see that one. So that one's in the sky, but I want you can also try to find Taurus the bull. You can also try to find Perseus. Perseus is the one he's got the head of Medusa, and he's the one who saves Andromeda from the giant sea monster. So that's actually this. If you haven't seen my one on the president's residence, you've got to go see that video, because it's I'm trying to think which playlist, because it's probably so old you might not be able to see it because they've done something to my videos. But it's where would it be? Anyway, I'll try to put a link below on that one, just in case, because I don't know which. I know I'll put it on a playlist somewhere. Anyway, probably on the constellations, on the one about the stars. Duh. All right, so you can also see Castor and Pollux, Gemini, like Gemini. You can see Gemini. You can see Auriga. Auriga. You can also see the Big Dipper. Okay, so see if you can start identifying those. And also, I'm going to show you another one that's so cool. So that most people have never even known that this was in the sky. And this is perfect for the Q people. This is just going to be so cool. So see if you can start identifying these in the heavens. Okay, and at the same time, I'm going to show you Venus going straight to Pleiades. See if you can see that one. Okay, all right. So also, number 3, watch the moon. Watch the moon night after night. and see, track it and say, okay, maybe make a little paper and a little homework and say, this night on the 26th, it looked like this. And on the 27th, it looked like this. And the 28th, it looked like that, you know, and just draw it out and track it. And also see where is the sun in relation to the moon. Okay, just do this for yourself to think through what is going on here. And also there's a time when the moon is not visible that's called a new moon. Where did you last see the moon? Okay, so think, now these things in the agrarian societies, they all knew this. You know, they've always known this. It's really only our generation that has not known how to identify the constellations, you know, in the past couple of generations. All right, so I'm going to show you some of the really cool things that are going on right now. So this is, and again, I'll show you how to do it while we're here. So this is over here. You can pick out the constellation lines, and you can pick out the labels, and you can pick out the pictures. Also, go and take off the ground and take off. You can put the ordinal points cardinal points if you want to, but also take off the atmosphere. And this is the one that has the azimuthal map right here, this one right here. So put that on. I like to take some of this extra clutter off, that one right there. All right, so what's happening, what I wanted to show you is, so this is the war that's going on between Jupiter, which is our Lord, and Saturn right now, and this is a war. Mars is a war right now going on. Now, if you look over here, I'm going to put in the date and time. So I'm going to move up the date, and you'll see how Mars is going straight over to Saturn and will be there. There's just the war symbol. It symbolizes war, you know, right beside it on the 31st. So, and then it'll pass it on by. And then Jupiter and Saturn continue to do something. So there's something going on between now and the end of the month. We already know it's gigantically, we're at war right now, big time. We're in a huge part of the battle. So I want you to see also that, let me move over. So you saw that Venus, oh, I've gone too far. All right, so if you look back, today is now, when you're looking at it, this is the 27th, you see how close Venus is. So here, just a few days ago, I'm going to show you how to put the ecliptic on. So if you go to this what part right here, sky and view options, and you click on markings, then you click on ecliptic. You will now see the ecliptic, the line for the ecliptic. So if you go back to when was it? He was riding along, Venus was riding along the ecliptic for months and months and months. Starting on the 12th of February, it left the ecliptic, or somewhere around there, and then it's going straight toward Pleiades, right there. And this is what I wanted to show you. It's going to be at Pleiades, which represents the church, okay? These 7 stars is the 7 churches of Revelation, okay? And it's the very same as the map of the 7 churches of Revelation that are in modern day Turkey. It was Ephesus at that time. So Venus is heading straight toward this, and you can see it in the heavens. Now, it's actually kind of hard to see because if you've got like smog or whatever in the sky, so still this stuff, I'm hoping that the skies are going to get clearer and clearer and clearer. But you know, if you kind of almost look away from it, you can see it out of peripheral vision. You'll see when you try it. So you go straight toward here. It's going to be there, y'all, on the 3rd, almost, which is Palm Sunday. Okay, starting in that evening before. So this leads me to believe that, and it's almost like the triumphal entry, you know. This is all so biblical, you guys, because this is biblical. He's talking about this, you know, great American resurrection, and this happening on Easter, and you know, I wouldn't think that it would happen exactly on that day. It's likely would happen maybe before then and roll out over that week. Like, I'm just saying, I don't know. I will say this, I told you guys something major was going to happen on the 18th, and that's when all this coronavirus stuff started happening. Major. We have never had a pandemic before, and we know that this is where it's really it's not about the pandemic. It's about the battle that for the arrests. That these, I knew we were going to war with them because of that sign I was just showing you. All right, so I don't know, but this seems really, really amazing to me that this is on the 3rd and not on the 12th. To be honest, I would expect it to be on the 12th. But as you remember, our Lord Jesus entered, a week before, and he was, if you remember, he was in the temple teaching until the day that they went and he put him on the cross, until the day they arrested him that night. We'll see. We're going to see how it's all going to play out for all of this, because there's no doubt. Q has told us many times, this is biblical. This is the Bible is playing out before our very eyes. If you're new here, I have a whole video playlist on the Bible being played out before our very eyes. We're seeing, so many stories that they're being fulfilled in our day. We're taking down Goliath, for example, the stories like that. So I've got another one. This is the white rabbit, y'all. This is the white rabbit. This is so cool. I can't believe I've not ever told y'all about this one. This is so cool. So this is Orion. This is the great champion. This is the one who fights the bad guy. If you get someone, like if you click on something and it gives you all this verbiage and you don't want to see that, just right click it and it'll disappear. Okay. So Orion, and you can just, with your little roller on your mouse, you can make it bigger or smaller. So Orion is the champion. He is the one who conquers the enemy. He's the one who conquers these Baal worshipers. And look at this river. This is the river that leads them straight down into hell, y'all. Look at that. These are the people going down into hell. That's what this is. This is what this is. Did you see the rabbit? There's the rabbit. Lepus, I don't know how you say it, but look at that rabbit with the two. I'm going to take the pictures off real quick. Look at this with the little bunny ears, the rabbit ears, like we used to have on our TV, right? This is right under there, and it's hard to see it because of the clouds, not the clouds, but the all the mess from the spraying and leftovers. But even if they didn't spray today, we live in a sea of just muck, right? So you will see probably this one here, RMEB, Nihal, and whatever these are, the LEP, whatever it is. Yeah, so you'll see that. And so what's so cool is that it's right under his feet. He's crushing the white rabbit. He's crushing the rabbit with his foot. Oh my goodness, this is so cool, you guys. Isn't that awesome? That's so awesome. So yeah, and Orion is the great champion. If you remember the all of the pyramids are in the same shape as Orion. Orion is the champion who destroys the enemy. This evil one, the New World Order, the beast. So yay. So yeah, but he's crushing this white rabbit. Oh my goodness, this is just too cool. All right, so then there's the red bull, the red eye. You'll see it's kind of a reddish tint to it, and he's the raging bull. Yeah, so I could talk about this all day, but I'm not going to talk anymore about that. Those are the main things I wanted to show you guys: the white rabbit and how to use that. So work on learning how to use this program. I think you'll really, really enjoy it and become familiar with the signs, the constellations that the Lord put there for us. I just think it's so cool, and we're going to see what happens on the 3rd. Let's just see what happens on the 3rd. It's coming up quick. Not this Sunday, but now I guess next Saturday. Is that right? Saturday or Sunday? We're going to see what's going to happen. We'll see. All right. So I'm going to close that out because it takes up a lot of my juice. All right. So So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that are pretty intense right now, and just be prepared. And I don't really like to talk about this stuff, but it's important that we do. And so I'm going to just run over some of these things with you. All right. Melania put out this tweet today, and while she said, while most children are at home during this challenging time, they tend to be on social media throughout the day. Parents, please be sure to check on them regularly to make sure they're practicing online safety. So yeah, she gets a lot of trolling. Don't worry about that. So what is she saying? She's saying if there's creeps who are trying to lure your children out of the house. Remember the video I did a couple of videos ago? It said in that verse, Isaiah 26, it says, go home, lock your doors until the anger of the Lord passes by. And I never knew what this was really talking about until this day. He's basically saying, do not let your children out. These people who are addicted to adrenochrome are desperate. And they can't get the borders have been closed so that you're not getting the children through the borders, and they aren't getting their supply from whatever way they were getting it before. And you can see that they're looking very, very bad. So they're desperate, and they've got a lot of money. And so that's what she's saying. And she can't come out and say this. I can, because I'm nobody, but she can't come out and say the vampires are, roaming the streets and trying to grab a child. I'm just saying that's why we had to shut down the schools, because we cannot give them access to our children. That's what's happening, y'all. That's what's happening. And so they're home with us. They're safe. And so we've shut down the wall. We've shut down every avenue as much as we possibly can, so that we have got as much people safe as absolutely possible. Okay. So here's a little tweet that I did. Iron and ferritin, the marker of the adrenochrome junkies. They don't look like junkies, but now they do. Now that they don't have their supply, right? Their supply lines are cut. They have to resort to acquiring children themselves. Hence why everyone is in their homes quarantine. Read safe. Or they have to resort to synthetic. Otherwise they die. I mean, it's literally do or die for them. Adrenochrome heavy use captures iron content in the body. So they talk a little bit about that. I'm not going to go into that right now. All right. I wanted to show you this also. This is about the oxidation, because iPod was talking about the oxidation. Just like if you have some iron and it oxidizes, it turns brown. So anyway, so he was talking a lot about that in very scientific jargon. But I'm going to read to you what this MMS, which is very similar to chloroquine, which they don't want anybody. They're saying, it's illegal to take it. It's absolutely outrageous. This stuff has been in use for 65 years. What is going on with that when this is clearly a cure? I mean, it's the American people should wake them up and say, you mean to tell me there's a cure? They've been using this for 65 years and you are saying it's illegal? What's up with you? What is up with you, right? I think that most everybody who's even the most trusting soul should go, wait 1 minute here, right? All right, so let me read this about the MMS, which is similar. Okay, so there's two products to get the MMS. You mix sodium chloride and hydrochloric acid. You mix them together and it has a chemical reaction. It goes in and it oxidizes that infection. And it sizzles it out. It's gone. Okay, so here it is. It's a unique chemical oxidizer that has the ability to enter the blood, water, and it kills all kinds of pathogens, viruses, bacteria, fungus that are virtually causing all diseases and touch absolutely nothing else. MMS also destroys heavy metal compounds in the water and many different poisons. This stuff is very inexpensive and it is very powerful, and it will shut down Big Pharma. And that very well may be what ends up happening. It may be that enough people are cured with this non-Big Pharma thing that this will break the back of Big Pharma. Wouldn't that be great? And the CDC, because their vaccines are, I'm not going to say it. All right. So I'm going to play this warning I'm going to play this. I'm going to put this on my Freedom Forcer Twitter today. I'm going to play this about what happens with these children. Okay, if you don't want to hear it, I'm telling you right now, turn it off. I won't have hurt feelings. Okay, just do what you got to do, because yeah, I'm just warning you right now.
Of the endomorphins in your body to just increase because of the terror and the pain. So when the Satanists drink the blood, they actually get like a chemical, a high, like a drug high from the blood of a tortured victim. And this little boy was found in the basement dead, with no blood, skinned alive and crucified. This cannot happen to any more children. I can't do it alone.
So, this is the adrenalized blood, and they are so desperate for this that they will do anything, even hurting a child. This is why we do not sleep. This is why we will not stop. This is why we are in this battle. This is what we're going to fight for, is for these children, and this is over. And we know that Easter Sunday, Resurrection Day, is the worldwide no anti-trafficking day. This is the new day. This is the new day, and this is the hard reality that we have to face if we're in this battle. And there's a lot of places to fight in this battle about a lot of different things. This may not be and I don't really talk about this very much, but this is something that we have to face, because this is what's going on. Okay, so this is an amazing thing today. Her account got suspended. Ellen DeGeneres' account got suspended, and she's been really going off out there saying all kinds of things. Well, today she posted something, and it had pictures of like Mickey Mouse and children touching Mickey Mouse, and it was just really weird. And so I think that's what got her suspended, because they can't allow that. And she's also been saying some things that have really been very much exposing that a lot of people are catching on to what she's saying. And she thinks she's so smart. No one can figure it out. Well, we are. We're Anons. We know. We can figure it out. So she had, at one point on one of the videos, she said, it's not working. It's not working. So what does that mean? Is it that she's taking some alternative medicine? It's, that's not working. Because she's not getting better. She's not getting the adrenochrome that she needs. It's not working. What they're trying to do with the pandemic, whatever it is, it's not working. Something's not working. And on another video, she said, try something else. So basically, I think that was her code to some of her cronies that, hey, you need to try something else for your health, try something else for your safety to get out, because they know the curtain is coming down. So yeah, she was saying that. Now she has also got an ankle bracelet right here. She's got an ankle bracelet right there, and right there. She's got an ankle bracelet. And she said something about a arrest warrant for Florida, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure she knows that she's just having to sit and wait to be arrested, I guess. So this is, yeah, there's no doubt she's got ankle bracelets on. Then these keys, I think the whole point of these keys, these children, have these keys like, oh, you're going to get a key and figure out which key will get you out of this cage. I'm thinking that's what this is. I don't know. If anybody else knows, put it in the comment section below. But they're, given keys, but none of them work. None of them work. And it's, they can sit and try all day, and they will never figure out how to get out of this cage. Jordan Sather has a video on adrenochrome, and he put it on like a story. He's like, oh, this is just a story, but it's very real. Very real. Yeah, and this is just so funny. Now I'm going to tell you the next one, which is, don't just be prepared for what I'm going to show. I'm not going to show you any awful pictures. I'm not going to do that. I won't do that. Okay. Yeah. So she's got on her thing this pedo language. If you aren't familiar with that, the whole their symbolism, right? So she had that on her shirt, as well as on her shirt it talked about run Forrest run. So she's basically, that wasn't just her thing for Tom Hanks, but it was the thing for everyone, that hey, we've got to find a way out of this mess, because they're screwed. All right, so and they took this snake in, and they're getting bitten by the snake. Remember how President Trump talked about that? That you know, you knew I was a snake. It was a snake before you took me in. Remember that poem that he has? They knew when they took this that they were taking in demons. This is it's not something that they were not aware of. This is Satan worship. And to do this, you have to do a satanic ritual. And they knew that. And there's a price to pay. There's a terrible price to pay. And that's where it is, where they are. This is the day of judgment. This is the day, this is Armageddon. This is, if you haven't read my book, Q-Anon and 1,000 Years of Peace, this is, we've had the tribulation of all the things that they've done to us, the sicknesses and the disease, the wars, all the autism and the cancer and the financial devastation, the central bank slavery all over the world, and we are being set free from them right now. We're casting them into the abyss, as it says in Revelation chapter 19, casting the beast and the false teachers into the abyss. And we'll have peace for 1,000 years on earth as it is in heaven. That's what's happening right now, in a nutshell. You can see more detail on my book, Revelation, and also on the Revelation playlist. Okay, so this is very awful that she drew this on her, and then, but in the torture, the children are, yeah, this is, they're defaced. And she has on her arm I-A-H-H-H-H-H, like the scream. That's just, it's beyond what I can really fathom, because you know, we're sitting here with humanity that we want to help someone. If someone's hurting, we want to, it's everything in us to go and try to help them, and they take pleasure in someone being tortured. It's just horrible. It's demonic. It's hellish. So that's what's going on with that. Okay, so I'll have this for you at the end, because this is why we're fighting. I want you to hear this precious little sweet angel, and she's just so precious and pure, and this is what Satan hates. He hates the precious, pure children. And I want you to see this little angel, just so sweet.
Oh, God. God is Jesus, and Jesus is God. And Jesus came to earth to die for our sins, and he raised from the grave so that we can have eternal life and live with him forever in heaven. It's a great thing to talk about, because God is the one who will set you free from sin. And sin is the bad stuff we do, and the bad stuff we think, and the bad stuff we say, and the bad stuff we do, and the bad stuff we say, like lying and not being truthful. Sin is just on our hearts, but God takes it and puts it on his own Son while he's dying on the cross. He took our sin so that we can live with him forever. And that's amazing. It's amazing that God takes our sin and gives it to Jesus, and Jesus dies on the cross and raised from the grave, and we can have eternal life with him. That's crazy. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about that, because I know I love Jesus. I just love you, and I want to say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Oh my goodness, is that the most precious thing you've ever seen? Oh, it was just so precious. This is why we fight. We've got to keep our children safe. Lock your doors. Keep these children precious. Oh, that precious little angel. And she says, I love you. And we get to spend, you know, I could not say it better myself. Good job, girlfriend. Oh, let's give thanks. Thank you so much, Lord. for these precious children. We pray every one of them will be safe. Oh Lord, we pray that you will bless our military, bless our Marines and our National Guard, so that they will go and they will save these all the precious children, and that not one more will be hurt, and that there will be no more trafficking ever, 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 and that all those who've been doing this evil will be taken away and cast into some abyss somewhere, so they cannot hurt anyone ever again, and that we will have this wonderful 1,000 years of peace. Thank you for these white hats. Thank you for our president. We thank you for all those who are fighting in this army. Lord, just guide us on what to do, what to say. Speak through us like you do this little precious child, and give us the words. If you can speak through her, you can speak through us, and just help us to have your strength in us so that we can fight valiantly in this day of battle, and make you proud. So we just love you. We're so excited that you are going to rule this world. We're just so excited that we're seeing it happen before our very eyes. We pray all these things in your great name, Jesus. Amen. All right, guys, I love you. I will talk to you soon. All right, bye.